It's your girl T here, back with the Tea Time Tuesday vid. Yeah, I know y'all are having a beautiful, blessed day because we're tea timers. It's absolutely what we do. Our affirmation of the day is, I am the love of my life. I am the love of my life. We're tea timers, so we know that we are the loves of our lives and we are the source of everything that we see around us. I wanted to discuss in this video today, I'm seeing a lot of, this person made me feel this way, I didn't get this job, so it means XYZ. I need to reiterate to y'all that at the end of the day, the game plan is to find ourselves, is to bring ourselves back to self, to make ourselves feel healthy, whole, and complete like we did at the beginning of our journey, which was birth. We came into the world with no expectations, no limitations, we came in free. We came in as a clear human being, and we were taught and experienced, and then we formed a belief system which narrates how we see the world today and what we experience. Our goal in the manifestation game, when we get to a certain consciousness, is to bring ourselves back to that pure human being that we once were, where we feel like everything is within us and we're healthy, whole, and complete without any of the additives. Nothing outside of us can make us feel any way unless we give permission to it. Meaning, we have a breakup with someone and we go into overdrive and we go into depression. We're making ourselves feel that way. We're replaying things in our mind based on the relationship that we were hoping for rather than what we saw in front of us. And that was narrated through us, through a set of beliefs and things that most likely didn't serve us. So we are excuse me, something caught in my throat. We're grieving the loss of the relationship that we were hoping for as opposed to what we were experiencing. We're grieving the loss of most likely the potential we saw in someone, or a narrative that we have of someone that disappointed the idea that we were carrying through this relationship. The point is, you need to get clear with your beliefs. You need to get clear with the way you look at life. Who are you? What do you want in a relationship? Who do you see in a relationship? What do they look like? What do they smell like? What's their spiritual background? What's their belief systems? Do you grow together? Are you the type of couple that goes to HomeSense on the weekend? Are you the type of couple that goes constantly vacationing? Are they a family person? Do you have children? Do they accept your children? Be clear on how your life is going to look. With money, do you have lots of money? Do you not care about money? Do you have enough to get by? Do you live in a van? Do you go on road trips and things are just provided for you? We are the source of our entire story. A lot of you that I see in correspondence are writing to me and you're all over the place. You don't know how you feel about yourself, or you hate on yourself and you feel like this person is your savior, this job is your savior. If you get this, it will make you feel a certain way. It will make you feel good enough. If this comes in, you're already good enough. You were born good enough. You won the sperm lottery. The chances of you being born was like under 1%. So you already came into this world to serve a purpose, and you were genetically chosen because you are already good enough and you were the one that came into this world. I truly believe in my mind that we're all born with certain gifts and talents that are very personal to each one of us, and we all have something to offer the world. And when we feel really depressed and sad and disconnected, I personally believe that a lot of this comes from being completely disconnected from what makes us happy and what our purpose is. When we are living a life that we feel is false and not anywhere connected to what our true passion and our true heart's calling is, I feel like the disconnect is huge. So when you are feeling these feelings of grief, sadness, etc., I'm not saying they're not valid. Feelings are real, and your body is really telling you that you're experiencing these things. But we do need to take back some of the ownership to know that we control how we feel, why we feel the way we do, and our beliefs are heavily tied into that, if not all the way responsible for the way we're perceiving situations. When we are getting upset about something that was said by someone, are we really upset with what they said, or did it trigger an old belief within us that is starting to spiral because they hit the nail on the head of an old belief we had, and then we have to prove our point or defend ourselves or tell them that it's not true when really it's hitting a nerve based on an old belief? You have to do a little bit of the work when you see things in your reality that keep repetitively showing up for you. Like if you keep having a feeling of unworthiness, you want to counterattack where that's coming from. Did you feel unworthy as a child? Did you have a parent who made you feel that? I'm doing it again. See, it's so embedded in us. Did you have a parent who propelled you into a state where you perceived the meaning of that to mean you're unworthy? Did that make you feel unworthy when certain things were said as a child and you adopted the belief that you are unworthy unless you do this? You are unworthy if this person says this. You are unworthy unless this happens for you. We need to deep dive into these little micro traumas that we have and figure out why we feel the way we do and how we're going to counterattack it. See how I just slipped up a couple of steps ago and said, made you feel? It's so embedded in us, in our 3D reality, that are so embedded in us from our 3D reality that people can make us feel things. Certain situations can make us feel things. You aren't good enough unless you have this. You're not good enough unless you have the same house as your neighbor. It's so heavily encoded in us. But I'm doing this video to remind y'all, you are good enough on your own. You're healthy, whole, and complete on your own. You don't need anything to prove your worthiness. You don't need to drive anything to prove your worthiness. You don't have to be with somebody else to prove your worthiness. And if you do X, Y, Z, it doesn't make you good enough or bad enough. You are neutral. Nothing has meaning until we assign it as such. And just like I did 4 steps ago that I keep going back to because it was a real-time example of how I corrected myself in that belief that they made you feel this way, you can do that throughout the day in your reality. When things come up and your mind goes back to your old programming, you redirect yourself to your new way of thinking because you're now consciously aware that you control your emotional state. You are healthy, whole, and complete on your own, no outside validation needed. One of my affirmations is, I validate myself. All I need is myself. I validate myself. I am my constant validation. I am the source. I am healthy, whole, and complete on my own. And I have worked very hard to reprogram my beliefs to know that all of my emotions and my validation comes from me. So I can go into situations now with little to no need to have other people validate me or have to, dance to get the prize like I used to do. I can validate myself and be very neutral in situations where I would have been reactive because I know that I can mold and shape my circumstances around me by my beliefs, my energy, how I control my energy, how I look at situations, etc. So now I know that I'm in the power seat and I don't need to rely on outside of me to say, oh, if that happens, then I'm powerful. Oh, if that happens, then I believe. Oh, if that happens, I'm worthy. No, I'm just worthy, happy, healthy, and whole because I say I am, because I was born that way, because that's who I am. That's who we all are. And the closer we get to that feeling of feeling healthy, whole, and complete without outside validation is the happier and easier our life will be, the easier it'll be to manifest. I have so many times throughout the last year or two thought of something and it just happens for me, or I'm like, that would be nice if that was shifted, and it just shifts because the more powerful and the more safe you get in just being healthy, whole, and complete on your own, things around you shift more easily because you don't need validation. You don't think that outside things control your emotional and internal state. You guys have the power to shift and change things around you and inside of you through you. You have to believe and love the fact that you are healthy, whole, and complete internally without needing anybody else to validate you. That's it. You're good on your own. You are in the controller's seat. You are a master manifester. You've done it since young. So when you're saying that person made me feel that way, or this situation's making me feel this way, look at that in itself. Why does it make you feel that way? Break down the belief. Oh, because when they say that, it makes me feel like I'm not good enough. Well, why do you feel you're not good enough? Because if I don't see that certain action happening, then I didn't do a good enough job. Well, that's not true. You always do a good job. You always give it your all. Oh, maybe it's because because I have this belief, and then that will lead to another belief, and then you get to the root of the actual belief that's upsetting you, and you can change that. Y'all know how to do that. You can affirm against it, you can replace it with a different belief, you can script about it, you can do a nervous system regulation and calm yourself down, and then really just sit with yourself. There's a million ways to come to a new belief system, but the point of this video is to remind y'all, no one's making you feel the way you do. No situation is making you think the way that you think. Your beliefs are fully under your control. Your emotions are fully under your control, and you have the power to change the way that things disrupt or not disrupt your circumstances and your inner peace. You have the power to do that. So if y'all have questions, you know what to do. I love y'all, but not as much as you should be loving yourselves. Have a beautiful, blessed Tuesday. Bye.